Hey, I'm Erica Zeal, creator of Core Athletica instructor training courses and the Core Rehab program. So today I want to show you how to do back extension exercises, and I'm going to share with you 3 different versions. I find so many times a lot of my clients have a hard time doing back extensions, or they're maybe fearful of doing back extensions because they're just like, oh, it just hurts my lower back. Well, here's the deal. I love back extensions, but we have to be doing them the correct way. So as I go through each of these versions, I want you to choose the one that feels like the best fit for you and then try that one. But the foundation of everything that I teach, and especially with back extensions, you have to be moving from your deep core, which means we have to find that gentle pelvic floor, lower belly, zipping up sensation through our core. That way we are supporting our spine from inside of our body. Okay, so we're not just using our back muscles, we are using everything from inside and the front of our core and moving with our breath. So this first version I'm going to show you, I like it. It's a Swan prep. So we're going to lay on our stomach. And I've done other videos where I break this one down a little bit more. So the basics of this one is I want your palms kind of underneath your shoulders. If your shoulders are really tight, you might want to bring your palms forward. Now, the biggest mistake I see people making is they go too high in their back extensions. My goal for you is we want to work extension as time goes, but initially I need you to find more space through your body. We've got to get space between the bones of our spine. So your palms are going to open those fingers wide. Keep those toes down on your mat or on your ground. Now we're going to press our palms down as we go to lengthen. I want you to first just feel that length through your spine. And then inhale and release a little bit. Exhale, press those palms down into your mat and start to zip up your belly. Feel the front of your ribs working. And then inhale, we lower. So for some, this is where I want you to start with back extension. Zip up those abs, start to feel that mid-back firing, and then we lower back down. Notice I'm not even lifting much off of my mat at all. Now, I'm going to show you a little progression. So as you feel like your core is connecting, pulling those shoulder blades gently towards each other, then we're going to start to use our arms to also bring us up. But I'm feeling good and supported through my abs. My mid-back is doing a lot of work. So feel like your palms are pulling back towards your hips as you pull your sternum forward and then lower on down. If you do that and you just feel it in your lower back, you've gone too high. So we have to stay lower. So it's nice light reach through your toes. And then it's exhale, gentle pelvic floor, lower belly. Zip up that belly to pull those shoulders towards each other and forward. And then we go and lower back down. Okay, so that's one version. This next version for how to do some back extensions, I really like this one. So if you have a foam roller at home, some of you might like a full foam roller. You can absolutely use that. I'm going to show this with a shorter one. I'll scoot back, make sure I'm in the frame here. Now, when you guys do this, if you're really tight in your neck and shoulders, I would recommend the first one that I just showed you. That one usually is a little bit better for the shoulders. Now, I really like this one though, because if you have a hard time connecting in the front of your ribs, which I see a lot of my mom population does, this one can be really good for you, but you have to make sure that it's not stressing your shoulders. If you go to do this one and it doesn't feel good on your shoulders or neck, then I would go back and do the Swan prep version, okay? So when we do this one, I would have your arms shoulder width apart. So like on my shorter roller here, I'm all the way out to the edges. If you have a wider roller, you could go out even farther. Now what we want to start with is we're going to go down. Relax your shoulders, reaching long through those toes. Now keep your toes down, because if our toes go up, we tend to pull into our lower back. We are going to inhale, breathe into our lower back. And then as we exhale, think pelvic floor, lower belly, feel the front of the ribs as we go to press down and start to lift. So I'm not thinking about extension at all on these. I really want you to focus on your abs. And then inhale, we lower down, relax those shoulders, breathe in through your nose into your lower back. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, gently zips up from the front of your belly and start to come up, okay? So notice this doesn't look at all like I'm really extending my spine too much. I am a little bit, but I'm not getting that mid-back extension. I really want you to get your abs on. That's why I like this one, because it can really help you. Now I'll show you the progression if you're ready for extension. So make sure that core is on. Exhale as you go to lengthen, then extend. So I'm pressing down into that roll and I'm pulling my sternum forward and getting into that mid-back. Good. And then I'm lowering down. Now, if you do that and all you feel it is compressing your lower back, then you need to keep your range smaller or try a different version, like the first one I showed. So inhale into your lower back, exhale, press down and either come up to here or even coming up farther if that feels good on your back. Good, and then we're gonna lower on down. Now, anytime you've done extension work, especially on the mat, on the ground, because it can be intense in a good way, but again, we wanna move from our core. I always like to do the counter of that, like do something like an arch and round, for example. And I love arch and rounds to really help you strengthen your deep core. So on your forearms, now it's not like a traditional cat-cow where you're up here. I want your arms forward. So you wanna open your sternum, stick your booty out there, kind of wiggle around a little bit. Try to release between your sits bones and your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, I want you to slowly do a little pelvic tilt. So it's just pelvic floor, lower belly. You're not really using those glutes at all. Notice I'm rounding through my lower spine. And I'm gonna feel a nice stretch in my mid-back, but try not to do this right away, okay? Inhale, we lengthen out, open your chest, and then think gentle pelvic tilt, getting deep into that core, rounding that lower spine by using the deep layers of your core. And then inhale, we wanna lengthen back out. So when done correctly, especially those of you that are tight in your mid-back, which is most of us, you will feel a nice gentle pull stretching your mid-back. Now, if you just round with it, like it feels good, you're welcome to do that. But I want you to feel that fascial opposition as you're working through these arch and rounds, which is a good counter to doing back extensions. Or an option you could do is you could start with some arch and rounds or an exercise that really starts to get that lower belly start to fire, and then do your back extensions. So for this next one, I want you to grab an exercise band, and I'm gonna do this one standing here. So you can put it, like I'm gonna put it behind this banister here. You know, at home, you can put it around a banister. You can also, a great place to put them is open a door, put it around the back knob of a door, and then close the door. And then you'll have a band so that we can do some back extension. So if you're really tight in your hips or you have a hard time activating your mid-back, sometimes just doing a standing back extension is a really good place to be. These are also great back extension exercise if you are pregnant. So I love these for my pregnant clients. Something we teach inside of our Knocked Up Fitness prenatal program, as well as our pre-postnatal instructor training course. So we go through all of that in there. Okay, so I like to cross the band a little bit. That way you get a little bit more even pull. So I'll try to be here kind of to the side so you guys can see. So again, just like I talked about when we're on our mat, we are moving and doing extensions from our core. So it's the exact same thing when we're standing. I want you to focus on zipping up with your belly, engaging your mid-back. So what we want to think about here as we do this, you can just have your arms down, and I've got a blue band. I would recommend probably starting with like a yellow band so it's nice and light. So we don't want to necessarily always pull with a lot of resistance. So what I want you to think about, just like we were working on the ground, plant your feet right underneath you, and I do recommend doing this barefoot. Think about zipping up your belly and then starting to pull those arms back as you extend your chest up and forward. And then as we come back to start, use your abs to do the work. So think of this as an ab exercise, right? You guys, it's not just for our back. We are never ever just working individual areas of our body. We're always moving from our core. So think about zipping up, gentle pelvic floor, lower belly, start to extend that spine up, and then we come back. Now, if extension feels like too much, you can just start to pull your arms by your side just to start to feel the back of those shoulders, your mid-back, and feel like you're trying to lengthen your spine. It's a really good posture exercise here. And it's a really good way to start to wake up that mid-back. Now notice, you'll kind of see I naturally soften my knees a little bit, so check and make sure your knees are not locked, because if we're locked and we're trying to pull back, it is really, really hard, okay? So knees are soft, and then think about lifting and pulling back, and then use your ribs to come up. So one thing I just want to show you guys really quick is with our rib cage, so much stress and tension gets in our upper neck and our shoulders, because we're always trying to move it from our shoulders and our arms. And so when we do extension work, we want to really feel like our ribs, what's going on inside of our rib cage, and that zipping up sensation to help us like move and lift from inside of our body. So hopefully this is helpful, you guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. If you would like to learn more about any of my programs or my instructor training courses, head on over to ericazeal.com.